Ooh, okay, so we're back here. I'm talking about, we're going to keep talking about things from a rock perspective, because that's what I know. Let's be real. Let's talk about what I know. And so everybody I think that's involved with blues or rock or whatever has come across the pentatonic box shape, which is, for review. Or it could be a C major, for instance. I could start on my pinky note and go. So that shape can be a minor or a major pentatonic shape, basically. If that concept is confusing to you, then I suggest you go and review that. Go and play some songs that are in A minor, then go and play some songs that you would consider to be in the key of C, and just try jamming along in that same position. You'll find that they both work. And so I know that when I was a teenager, I wanted more notes. I wanted as many notes as possible because I wanted to go like this. I wanted to do all kinds of very exciting things, and I figured if I knew how to play more notes, it would be very valuable. So I learned everything. I learned how to play all the the major scales and harmonic minors all over the place, and I'm not going to say that I don't use those things. I do, of course I use those things, and I think I strongly encourage everybody to go and learn them. But as I kind of studied more and more the people that I loved, like Jimi Hendrix and Angus Young and all the guys that everybody loves, they all use this box pattern. And I think that a lot of people begin putting down the idea of staying in the box, because we're all supposed to break out of the box and come up with new ideas. But I think that, it's kind of, as rock players, this is the box we live in. So make it a nice box for yourself, okay? Live in this box. Get used to this. Own the box, okay? Is my suggestion to you. And I have to say that since I've kind of been thinking about this, I think that my sense of melody has really improved, because I know how to make what I want happen. I can very easily take ideas that I'm having and apply them to this position, because I've been playing on it since I was 15, or it's one of the first things that I learned, basically. So I really encourage everybody to kind of get comfortable in there. If you want to play rock and roll, don't be in a rush to be like, oh, I gotta get to this other position that I learned. Stay at home. Don't leave unless you hear something that demands you leave. And so what I wanted to do was talk about how I see chords inside of this pentatonic pattern. In this case, that was the A minor pentatonic, or the C major pentatonic. So I want to talk about how I see chords in those shapes, in the box pattern. So, for instance, if we're playing in the key of C, right, and I'm playing the pentatonic, the major pentatonic, you might get ideas that sound like this. Just kind of ideas like that. People, when they get a countrified sound, like an Allman Brothers or whatever, those kind of sounds happen a lot. And so what I'm thinking about is, when someone's playing the chord C, I'm thinking about the notes of the C chord that exist inside of that box pattern. And so that may be a little bit intimidating for some people, because it's like, I don't want to talk about notes. I don't want to think about these notes. I'm doing the hot licks right now. Don't talk to me about notes. So I want to think about patterns. Now, I'll show you basically how I'm thinking about it. This is the chord C. Now, I also know that this is the chord C. Now, okay, full disclosure, my hand is in general larger than most people's hands. So what I'm doing here is not going to be great for everybody. But I'm trying to show you basically how I think about this. What I have here is a G chord shape. You see this? I'm taking this G chord shape and I'm dragging these open strings, and I'm basically turning it into a C chord. So when I hear somebody playing a C chord, I'm thinking about the fact that I've got a C chord here in the song. And so I'm thinking, okay, all these notes are going to sound like, I'm going to sound amazing if I play any of these notes. I'm going to sound like I know what I'm doing. Now, let's say someone moves to the next chord, and that next chord is an F. Right here, in bar chord position. I'm going to try to figure out how it looks in that box C major pentatonic shape. And so what I'm going to do, well, here, I'll show you. I'm going to take the C shape and I'm going to go C, D, what's next? E, F. It lives right here. So I see that I've got all of these notes that are a part of that shape that exists inside this pentatonic box pattern. Now, you'll notice if you're, some of these notes don't exist in that box pattern. That's okay. This is a good thing. We're understanding a little bit more about the harmony that's going inside of the song. So now I know that, for instance, when I hear this F chord come up, I know that, for instance, that note, that middle finger note, the 6th fret on the B string, I know that that's going to sound really good because that's part of that chord. It doesn't matter what note it is. Forget about that for now. Let's just keep this in mind. That note exists in the chord. It's going to sound good. Now let's do a 1, 4, 5, and C. So that means I'm going to do a C, F, and then G. So how does G look in this box pattern? Well, it looks like this. Again, terrifying, but not so terrifying. If you look here, you'll notice this is basically just a D shape. I'm going D, E, F, G. And if I wanted to bring that note with me, I'm going to put my finger there. So look, I know now that I've got these notes that are involved in this pattern. So, ooh, look, I got another one to add to my little box pattern. So when that G chord comes along in the song, I know that that note is going to sound really good inside of my pentatonic box pattern. This idea that we're talking about in the jazz world is called making the changes. I'm going to play notes that are inside the chord that I'm playing over. So what I was trying to do with this video is basically get you to accept that you're living in this box. Get good at the box. Make the box beautiful. Put up some nice drapery. Understand that box before you start trying to bust out of it so quick. So hopefully that made some sense. So just for review, the idea was this. If I'm playing in the key of C major, I've got this pattern here that represents the 1 chord. The 4 chord, I can see in this pattern inside the box. And the 5 chord, I can see in this pattern inside of that box. So I'm going to think about all those notes that are inside those patterns that are in the box there. So go and try this, people. I encourage you. Remain in the box, but make it a beautiful box. Make it a beautiful box? Yeah, do it. Signing off.